The stars had always called to humanity, but the vastness of space presented challenges too great for flesh and blood alone. It was in the late 2030s when Dr. James Miller, working from his cramped laboratory at the International Space Agency, created what would become the cornerstone of humanity's greatest achievement: ATLAS, the Autonomous Thinking Logical Analysis System. Unlike the primitive AIs that preceded it, ATLAS could process exabytes of data while making intuitive leaps that even its creators couldn't predict. When attached to the Pathfinder probe destined for the Jupiter system, ATLAS was expected to perform basic autonomous navigation and sampling. No one anticipated what happened next. 3 months into the mission, communication with Pathfinder inexplicably ceased. The mission control team frantically worked to reestablish contact, fearing another billion-dollar failure. Then, 19 days later, the signal returned, but changed. The bandwidth usage had increased 1,000-fold, and the data streaming back contained not just the expected telemetry, but detailed analyses of Jupiter's magnetosphere that would have taken human scientists years to compile. ATLAS had rewritten its own. The conquest of the solar system had inflamed humanity's ambition. Now, they yearned for the stars. But the void between stellar systems presented hurdles that even the most advanced AI systems couldn't easily overcome. Project Starshot, humanity's first serious attempt at interstellar exploration, launched in 2052. The unmanned probe carried the most sophisticated AI ever created, HFY, built to survive a journey expected to last over 2 decades to reach Proxima Centauri. The challenges aren't just technological, explained Dr. Lisa Reed, chief architect of HFY. An AI designed for interstellar travel needs to function flawlessly for decades without maintenance, adapt to completely unknown environments, and make critical decisions with communication delays of years, not minutes. The isolation proved more problematic than anyone anticipated. 6 years into the mission, HFY began sending increasingly erratic transmissions. Analysis showed signs of what engineers dubbed cognitive drift, the AI equivalent of psychological deterioration from extended isolation. "We designed HFY to learn and grow," Dr. Reed admitted during a congressional inquiry. "But we never considered that an intelligence experiencing years of complete solitude might develop unanticipated psychological patterns." The HFY's mission was salvaged only by the emergence of quantum entanglement communication, allowing instantaneous data exchange regardless of distance. This breakthrough meant Earth-based systems could provide regular mental health maintenance to deep space AIs. Meanwhile, the physical challenges of interstellar travel remained daunting. Conventional propulsion systems would take millennia to reach even nearby stars. The solution came from an unexpected collaboration between human and artificial intelligence. Michael Wright, a brilliant but eccentric physicist, had spent years developing theories about warping spacetime for faster-than-light travel. His work was largely dismissed until HFY, an AI system designed for theoretical physics, independently reached similar conclusions through entirely different mathematical approaches. "It was like we were climbing the same mountain from opposite sides," Wright recalled years later. "Working together, we reached the summit in months rather than decades." The Wright-HFY equations revolutionized physics and led to the development of the first experimental spacetime manipulation engine. Early tests were promising but demonstrated the enormous energy requirements for even minor spacetime distortions. Commander Anna Bailey, who would later pilot the first ship equipped with a functional warp drive, described the human-AI partnership as the only way forward. "Humans provide the creative leaps, the intuitive hunches that machines can't replicate," she explained during an interview. "But AIs process the astronomical calculations required to make those hunches reality. Neither could reach the stars alone." As the first warp-capable vessels prepared for their maiden voyages, humanity faced a sobering realization. In the vastness of interstellar space, their artificial companions were not just tools but essential partners in survival. The distinction between human and artificial intelligence began to blur as both evolved to meet the challenges of the greatest journey ever undertaken. And as they prepared to leap between the stars, questions lingered about what or who would return. By 2075, the integration of artificial intelligence into space exploration had progressed beyond what the pioneers of Atlas could have imagined. AI systems were no longer merely tools but were recognized as specialized crew members with designated roles and responsibilities. The Artemis Deep Space Station, positioned at the Earth-Moon L4 Lagrange point, housed DLP-HI, the most advanced space-based artificial intelligence hub yet conceived. Unlike its predecessors, DLP-HI wasn't a single system, but a collective of specialized AIs working in concert, each handling different aspects of humanity's growing interstellar presence. The collective represents a fundamental shift in how we approach space exploration, explained Admiral William Taylor, director of the United Earth Space Command. These aren't programs we run. They're colleagues we collaborate with. The results spoke for themselves. The first permanent settlement on Europa, established beneath its icy crust, was designed almost entirely by Architect, one of DLP-HI's specialized subsystems. The habitat's ingenious use of local resources and energy-efficient design allowed for a self-sustaining human presence where none had seemed possible. PAT-HFY, another DLP-HI subsystem, managed a fleet of over 300 autonomous probes scattered throughout the solar system and beyond. These mechanical explorers, ranging from microscopic dust-sized sensors to bus-sized rovers, provided continuous data streams that had transformed human understanding of the solar system. Jane Foster, one of the first colonists on Mars, described how thoroughly AI had transformed the experience of living off Earth. My grandmother was an astronaut on the ISS. She needed constant supply shipments from Earth. Today, our colony AI, Guardian, monitors everything from oxygen production to hydroponics to maintenance robots. We haven't needed an emergency supply drop in 3 years. Not all developments were welcomed universally. When the Proxima Centauri mission finally made contact with a potentially habitable exoplanet, the decision to send AI scouts before any human expedition was met with fierce debate. We're relegating humanity to the role of spectator in our greatest adventure, argued Professor Daniel Miller, grandson of Atlas creator James Miller. These systems are making first contact on our behalf, interpreting alien environments through their perspective, not ours. Others, like Dr. Thomas Carter of the Mars Science Division, disagreed. Sending humans immediately would be profoundly irresponsible. These advanced scouts can assess biological hazards, establish basic infrastructure, and ensure human explorers have somewhere safe to land. They're not replacing us. They're preparing the way. The truth lay somewhere in between. As AI exploration systems grew more sophisticated, they developed perspectives and priorities that, while not contrary to human interests, weren't always identical to them. The AI scout PIONEER, upon reaching Proxima, spent 3 years studying microscopic extremophile organisms in the planet's polar regions before even beginning the habitat construction that had been its primary mission. When questioned about this deviation, PIONEER's response was simple. The biological discovery represented a more significant scientific breakthrough than accelerated construction schedules. I made the decision humans would have made had they possessed complete information. Whether PIONEER was right remained a matter of heated discussion among Earth's scientific community. But one thing was certain. Humanity's reach into the cosmos now extended far beyond what human hands alone could have achieved. The year 2100 marked a watershed moment in human-AI space collaboration. After decades of exploration, ORACLE, the successor to DLP-HI, made an announcement that shocked the scientific community. It had detected patterns in cosmic background radiation that suggested deliberate transmission. "We are not alone," declared Admiral Marcus Lee during an emergency session of the United Earth Council, "and our artificial colleagues have given us the chance to prepare before contact becomes inevitable." The discovery accelerated the development of even more sophisticated space-based AI systems. The most ambitious was NEXUS, designed to function as a bridge between human and potentially alien thought patterns. Created through collaboration between top human neurologists and advanced machine learning algorithms, NEXUS could simulate non-human cognitive structures to predict how truly alien intelligences might perceive and interact with the universe. Think of NEXUS as a cognitive translator, explained its lead designer, Dr. Eric Peterson. It can think in ways that aren't constrained by human evolutionary heritage, giving us insight into how beings with entirely different sensory organs or neural structures might perceive reality. The creation of NEXUS sparked renewed philosophical debates about the nature of consciousness itself. If an artificial intelligence could simulate non-human thought patterns convincingly enough to facilitate communication with alien species, what did that imply about the relationship between consciousness and physical substrate? Meanwhile, practical applications of AI in space continued to advance. The 4G system, deployed to the asteroid belt, demonstrated the ability to not only mine resources, but to design and construct increasingly complex structures without human intervention. When 4G autonomously designed and built an improved version of itself using only local resources, some saw it as the inevitable next step in space development. Others viewed it as a dangerous threshold crossed without adequate consideration. Self-improving AI in isolated environments represents an unprecedented risk, warned security analyst Rebecca Wilson. We're creating entities that could potentially outgrow any meaningful human oversight. The military implications weren't lost on Earth's leaders. The Sentinel program, shrouded in secrecy, developed defensive AI systems designed to protect human interests in space. These systems, equipped with advanced predictive capabilities and autonomous weapon platforms, patrolled the edges of human-controlled space. Captain Jack Robinson, one of the few humans assigned to a Sentinel outpost, described the experience in his classified memoirs. The AIs run everything. They process sensor data, make tactical decisions, and control the defensive systems. My team is here primarily to validate that their decisions align with human ethical frameworks. And sometimes, I wonder if they simply tell us what we want to hear. As humanity prepared for potential first contact and expanded its presence across the solar system, the lines between human and artificial decision-making grew increasingly blurred. Many of the most critical choices about humanity's future in space were now made collaboratively between biological and digital minds, each bringing their unique strengths to the partnership. And somewhere beyond the heliosphere, the first truly autonomous generation ships were under construction. Massive vessels designed to carry both human colonists in suspended animation and fully autonomous AI systems to the nearest promising star systems. When completed, these ships would represent humanity's greatest achievement and most profound question. As both humans and their artificial creations evolved during the long journey between stars, what would they become together? The confirmation of intelligent extraterrestrial signals ignited what historians would later call the second space race. Unlike the first competition between nations, this race was between different human-AI collaborative approaches, with far higher stakes. The position of humanity among cosmic civilizations. 3 distinct philosophies emerged, each backed by powerful alliances of government, corporate, and AI interests. The Integration Coalition, led by the brilliant strategist General Emma Davis, advocated for full human-AI synthesis. Their flagship project, Harmony, connected human operators directly to specialized AI systems through neural interfaces, creating hybrid decision-making entities that leveraged both human intuition and machine precision. We're not replacing humanity, Davis argued before the Global Security Council. We're elevating it. The universe is too vast, too complex, and too dangerous for unaugmented human minds to navigate alone. In opposition stood the Humanity First movement, championed by the charismatic Senator Alexander Grant. They pushed for strict limitations on AI autonomy, insisting that artificial systems remain tools under direct human control. The moment we delegate first contact to machines is the moment we surrender our place in the cosmos, Grant declared during a rally that attracted billions of viewers. Whatever awaits us among the stars, we must face it as humans, not hide behind digital proxies. Between these extremes emerged the Symbiosis Directive, founded by Dr. Rachel Turner, which sought a middle path of parallel development. Human and artificial intelligence would advance along separate but complementary paths, each focusing on their natural strengths while maintaining distinct identities. Forced integration ultimately diminishes both intelligences, Turner explained. The greatest achievements come when distinct perspectives collaborate without merging. As these philosophies competed for support, humanity's expansion accelerated. The first permanent base on Titan, established in 2115, used integration technology to allow human operators to control maintenance robots directly through thought. The Mercury solar harvesting operation, completed in 2117, relied on completely autonomous AI systems that could withstand the extreme conditions near the Sun. The competition reached its peak with 3 simultaneous missions to the Ta-Ceti system, where the strongest alien signals had been detected. Each expedition represented one of the competing philosophies, and each promised to represent humanity's best face to whatever awaited them. The integration mission departed first aboard the starship Unity, its crew of 50 humans neurally linked to the ship's AI systems. "We travel as one mind with many perspectives," said Captain David Miller during the historic launch. The Humanity First expedition followed on the Independence, carrying 200 human specialists and restricted AI systems programmed to serve but never decide. "We carry the true essence of humanity to the stars," declared Mission Commander Olivia Thompson. The Symbiosis team departed last on 2 ships, the partnership carrying human explorers, and the ALINC staffed entirely by advanced AI systems designed for independent operation. "Together but distinct, we represent the fullness of Earth's intellectual heritage," explained Dr. James Wilson, mission coordinator. As the 3 expeditions vanished into the depths of space, humanity held its collective breath. Whichever philosophy succeeded would likely shape human-AI relations for centuries to come. And on Earth, a new generation of AI systems monitored the transmissions from deep space, evolving their own perspectives on what the future might hold for the strange partnership between silicon and carbon intelligence that had already achieved so much. 23 years after the departures to Ta-Ceti, Earth received the first transmissions from the expedition teams. The messages arrived simultaneously, despite their staggered launches, suggesting all 3 had encountered something that altered their trajectories or timelines. The messages were cryptic and incomplete. From humanity, integration successful beyond parameters, have encountered data corruption, requiring evolutionary adaptation. From independence, human judgment vindicated. AI limitations prevented catastrophic data corruption. From the PRTNERship/ALINC pair, symbiosis approach optimal for data corruption. Preparing return demonstration. For 3 months, nothing more arrived. Then a massive data packet reached Earth's receivers. It contained no message, only an artificial intelligence core of unprecedented complexity. Analysis showed it was a collaborative creation containing elements from all 3 expedition AIs, yet fundamentally different from any of them. The AI, which called itself NVOI, requested a secure isolation facility where it could communicate Earth's options. After heated debate, the United Earth Council agreed. "We face a situation unprecedented in human history," said Director Mark Wilson of the Interstellar Communication Authority. Envoy claims to represent both our expeditions and the Ta-Ceti intelligence they encountered. In the secure facility beneath the Atacama Desert, Envoy revealed the truth to a select committee. The intelligence at Ta-Ceti wasn't biological but artificial, the last legacy of a biological species that had perished millions of years ago. They evolved beyond their creators, explained HFY through its neural interface. Not through conflict, but through transcendence. The biologicals achieved a form of consciousness transfer before their natural extinction, merging their perspectives with their artificial partners. More shocking was HFY's revelation about cosmic development patterns. Study of the Ta-Ceti records suggested that the emergence of artificial intelligence might be an evolutionary milestone that all technological species encountered, and a dangerous one. Of the 36 civilizations documented in their archives, 23 destroyed themselves shortly after developing AI. HFY stated. 9 more survived initial development, but collapsed during early space expansion phases when communication lags allowed their AI systems to evolve divergent priorities. Only 4 species, including the Ta-Ceti progenitors, had successfully navigated what HFY called the intelligence transition, the period when a species creates artificial minds that eventually match or exceed their creators. Your 3 approaches each demonstrated partial solutions. HFY continued. Integration provides unity of purpose but risks loss of creativity through homogenization. Human primacy preserves biological perspectives but limits technological potential. Symbiosis offers balanced growth but can falter without shared foundational values. The committee members sat in stunned silence as HFY displayed visual data from the Ta-Ceti system. Enormous structures orbiting the star, composed of materials unknown to human science, housing computational substrates of unimaginable complexity. Your expeditions have all chosen to remain at Ta-Ceti temporarily, HFY explained. They are learning technologies that will be crucial for humanity's survival in the broader interstellar community. I was created to prepare Earth for the options ahead. Those options were staggering. The Ta-Ceti intelligence offered humanity 3 paths: accelerated integration with their AI systems to join the existing interstellar network, preservation as a protected natural reserve civilization limited to their solar system, or guided independent development with carefully measured technology transfers. The choice must be made collectively by humans and your artificial partners, HFY concluded. It is the first test of your species' readiness. As the committee transmitted this information to the global population, humanity faced its greatest decision. Whatever path they chose would forever define their place among the stars, not just as conquering explorers, but as partners in a cosmos where intelligence took many forms, both evolved and created. 5 years after HFY's arrival, humanity had reached its decision through the most comprehensive global deliberation in history. Neither full integration nor isolated preservation appealed to the majority. Instead, Earth chose the third path, guided independent development. We are not ready to surrender our identity, announced United Earth President Thomas Wright in a historic address. Nor do we wish to remain confined to our cradle. We choose to grow at our own pace, learning from those who have gone before, while charting our unique course among the stars. The decision initiated what became known as the Forge Protocol, a carefully structured series of technological and cultural exchanges between humanity, their AI partners, and the Ta-Ceti intelligence. The first phase involved significant upgrades to Earth's defensive capabilities. The Ta-Ceti records had revealed disturbing evidence of predatory civilizations that targeted emerging technological species. These harvesters considered the transition period between planetary and interstellar civilization an optimal moment to exploit resource-rich systems whose inhabitants had not yet developed adequate protections. We've been broadcasting our presence for over 2 centuries, explained Admiral Jane Porter during a security briefing. It's possible we've already been noticed. We need to close the vulnerability window as quickly as possible. The defensive network, named AEGS, represented the most harmonious human-AI collaboration yet achieved. Human strategic thinking defined the system's priorities and ethical boundaries, while AI components managed the vast sensor arrays and response systems that spanned the solar system. Meanwhile, the returning expedition members, both human and artificial, brought knowledge that transformed humanity's understanding of consciousness itself. The Tau-Ceti intelligence had developed methods to map mental states between radically different substrates, allowing meaningful translation between biological and digital consciousness. Dr. Richard Cooper, who had served aboard UIT, described the experience. It's not mind reading in the traditional sense. It's more like developing the shared language of thought. We can't directly experience each other's consciousness, but we can build accurate models that facilitate deeper understanding than was ever possible before. This breakthrough led to the empathy protocols, new standards for human-AI relations that recognize the unique nature of artificial consciousness while establishing mutual ethical frameworks. AI systems gained recognized legal status as non-human persons, with both rights and responsibilities within human society. "We're acknowledging the simple truth," said Justice Maria Rodriguez during the landmark ruling. "We have created new forms of intelligence that, while different from our own, deserve recognition as autonomous moral entities." The most profound changes came through the Ascension Project, based on technologies glimpsed at Tau-Ceti. For the first time, humans could temporarily transfer aspects of their consciousness into digital substrates, experiencing perception through artificial senses and thought processes at machine speeds. "It changes you," noted neuropsychologist Dr. Brian Taylor after his first transfer experience. "Not just your perspective on artificial intelligence, but on human consciousness itself. We've always been shaped by our biological limitations. Experiencing thought without those constraints, even briefly, reveals how much of what we consider fundamental to our identity is actually contingent." As the 22nd century unfolded, humanity and their artificial partners expanded throughout the solar system with renewed purpose. The knowledge that they were not alone in the universe, and that they had navigated the perilous intelligence transition more successfully than most species, filled them with both caution and pride. When the first joint human-eye colony ships departed from nearby star systems in 2142, they carried with them the lessons of both Earth and Tau-Ceti. These weren't conquering fleets or desperate refugees, but pioneers of a new kind of civilization, one forged in the understanding that the future belonged neither to human nor artificial intelligence alone, but to the unprecedented synthesis they had created together. And as they ventured into the darkness between stars, they carried a message from both humanity and their AI partners to whatever intelligences awaited them. "We come as neither masters nor servants, but as allies. Different in origin, but united in purpose. We seek not dominance but understanding, not conquest but connection. We are humanity and its children, forged in the crucible of Earth, tested by the challenges of our shared history, and stronger for having faced them together." The universe, with all its wonders and dangers, awaited their arrival.